Now, from the Low Country's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
A statue many see as a symbol of hate is coming down after 5 years. Hate struck the holy city at Mother Emanuel AME Church.
Charleston Mayor John Tecklenburg calling for the John C. Calhoun statue to be removed from Marion Square. We have team coverage of this historic day this afternoon. Raphael James is live at Mother Emanuel. Nick Reagan following protesters calling for racial justice. But first, let's go to Rob Way. Rob, the mayor of the city of Charleston, says the Calhoun statue could come down soon.
Bill, Mayor John Tecklenburg has put forth a resolution. Now that has to go to City Council, and they only need to vote on it once. Now, if it is approved there, that is when the statue could be removed. All of this, of course, being announced at the base of this massive statue here in downtown Charleston just a couple hours ago, right here in Marion Square. Now, the official vote for that resolution will be happening next Tuesday during the City Council meeting, which starts at 5 p.m. And again, if it passes, the statue will be removed and put in a museum. Now, as for the rest of the monument, he tells me that's set to come down in pieces. The 115-foot monument looks over Marion Square here in the heart of downtown Charleston, and on top of it stands John C. Calhoun, the 7th Vice President of the United States and a supporter of slavery. Today's announcement was made next to council members, Black Lives Matter activists, and in front of about 200. A commission has also been created, and Councilmember William Dudley Gregory says they'll be looking at all statues around the city.
This commission will attack racism with a vengeance unprecedented in the city of Charleston's history.
He went on to say that they're going to be also looking at options of building statues for the enslaved people who built Charleston. Now, as for that resolution, once again, that's going up for a vote next Tuesday. Their meeting starts at 5 p.m. over online, but again, that meeting will be happening on Tuesday. Live in downtown Charleston, Rob Way, Live 5 News.
Rob, thank you. Right now, Charleston Black Lives Matter leading a peaceful protest right by where the mayor made that announcement of the Calhoun statue coming down. Nick Reagan live there in Marion Square right now. Nick, what are you seeing at the protest so far? Peaceful?
Yeah, Bill, peaceful for sure. You can definitely hear behind me the folks have started chanting about that statue. Now, a couple of minutes ago, all of the protesters circled around the statue and they decided to start putting up their signs up on the statue. You can actually see it behind me, some of those signs reading things like "Take it down, it's time to atone for injustice, to take down the statue." They, again, are doing a lot of chanting at this point. Now, they are going to be speaking here for a couple of minutes, and then they do plan on marching down to Broad and then over to East Bay, and then they will end back up here at Marion Square. Now, one thing we should emphasize is that they are emphasizing some of those social distancing guidelines. I spoke with one of the protesters who was actually out handing out masks, and she says she's handed out about 20 of them. She's got boxes still in her car that she will be handing out to anybody who needs a mask here at Marion Square. Reporting for Live 5 News, Nick Reagan, Live 5 News.
They are names Charleston will never forget. Reverend Clemente Pinckney, Cynthia Graham Hurd, Tywanza Sanders, Myra Thompson, Reverend Sharonda Singleton, Reverend Daniel Simmons, Ethel Lance, Reverend DePayne Middleton, and Susie Jackson. 5 years ago today, we lost those 9 black churchgoers to an act of hate at Mother Emanuel, downtown Charleston. Raphael James is live at the church now. And Raphael, many of us remember where we were on that night 5 years ago, and you were right there.
Absolutely, Ann. A little further down Calhoun Street here at the corner of Meeting Street. That was as close as we could get to Mother Emanuel that night. It was blocked off with police cars and emergency crews. What I remember also is the night after that. The first night, the public couldn't get here. The second day, the next night, is when the news hit, and people from all over the Low Country came here, as they're doing today, to pay their respects. I've seen people riding by. A guy rode by, 2 fingers, peace, as he pointed towards the church and dropped his fingers as he passed. Another lady driving by, looking at the church, visibly weeping. People are coming here to show their love for those who lost their lives. One young man and his siblings who were affected, Chris Singleton, his mother was killed in the Emanuel church shooting on that night. Chris has always said he wants to live his life in a way so that he doesn't let his mom down.
Chris Singleton embodies the power of positivity. He lost his mother, Sharonda Coleman Singleton, when he was only 18. 5 years later, he's still finding ways to honor her.
Everything that I do, I'm going to try to make my mom proud in it. And now it's becoming more of a movement where I want, other kids to say, every single day of my life, I'm going to do so to make my mom proud.
Singleton has grown from an older brother to a husband, and from a son to a father.
I have different pictures around the house, and I try to show my son what my mom looks like so he can know that that's grandma.
Chris had just finished his freshman baseball season here at Charleston Southern, where his mother cheered him on from the stands. The night after her murder, he was back on the baseball field to deliver a powerful message.
Love is always stronger than hate. So if we just love the way my mom would, then the hate won't be anywhere close to what love is.
I felt like God was speaking through me because I just spoke my heart, and that's what came out.
Charleston embraced the message with marches for love and unity, and the community began to heal. The theme stuck with Chris as he finished his baseball career at CSU and a brief stint in the minor leagues.
I always knew that I was more than just a baseball player. Whenever I would be at the field or signing autographs, I would always put love is stronger than hate. I wanted people to ask me what that was for, so I can continue that message.
Chris returned home to the Low Country with a new purpose to keep his mother's spirit alive. He helped Charleston Southern open the Singleton Baseball Complex in her honor. Now he travels the country, speaking to thousands of students and professionals. He even has a new children's book out this week, sharing the message his mother inspired, a message that may be more important today.
After Mother Emanuel, everybody came together so quickly they didn't have to look themselves in the mirror. And just recently, after everything that's gone down, more and more people are asking the questions to themselves and to their family. I definitely think we're moving forward, but I still continue this message, regardless if it's June, January, August, or September. I'm going to continue to share the message of love and unity.
Amazing story with an amazing young man and an amazing message. People are still continuing to pour to the feet of the steps of Mother Emanuel AME, Lillian. And since we've been here, dozens have come dropping off flowers and prayers and paying their respects.
Yeah, many people have come out. I saw people coming out and praying here earlier. Plenty of people come out, take photos, and really the wounds of that night for many of the families of the Emanuel 9 are just as fresh as those flowers here behind us. And I spoke with one man who came and spoke with me as well. He's a state representative, J.A. Moore, who did come, and he said he lost his sister, Myra Thompson, in the shooting. He said the tragedy drastically changed his life, and to carry on her legacy and the legacy of his father, he then became a state representative. Today he told me that while a lot has changed over the past 5 years, he says there's still a feeling of incompletion. As he says, the country needs to unify and heal now more than ever. He's calling for deep, systematic change across the board in law enforcement, schools, and in the criminal justice system.
Too often we have surface responses to tragedies. We take a flag down, we remove a statue, but substantively that doesn't change the lives of so many people that have been marginalized and discriminated against since the beginning of this country.
And Ralph, a very powerful moment. When he first walked up for the interview today, a family with many young kids walked up as well to lay flowers here at the feet of the church. And he said in that moment he really thought of his daughter. And he said, that was another change over the next 5 years. And he wanted to make sure that his daughter and the girls that came to drop off the flowers never would have to go through what he went through in the families of the Emanuel 9.
Very powerful indeed. And just moments ago, before we came on the air, this is another touch. Mother Emanuel hasn't done much publicly this year because of COVID-19. However, at 5 o'clock, the bells tolled here and it was Amazing Grace, a beautiful rendition of Amazing Grace. And Bill, back to you in the studio.
All right, Lily and Raphael, thank you both so much. Senator Lindsey Graham is highlighting the strength of family members who lost someone that day. In a statement, he wrote, "Just days after this horrible tragedy, the people at Mother Emanuel showed a level of love and forgiveness that was truly unimaginable. It was an act that is rarely seen." He went on to say that the words from those loved ones continue to amaze him to this day.
Live 5 is remembering all the victims of the shooting at Mother Emanuel in our Remembering the Emanuel 9 special. That special will air again tonight on Bounce at 8. It will also run this Saturday night at 7 right here on Live 5 WCSC. If you can't watch at those times, we also have the full special on our website. Just head to live5news.com and look for this story. Turning outside right now, we've got more cool weather out there, but don't get used to it. Things will soon be heating up. Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh now in the First Alert Weather Center. Bill,
yes, sir.
Starting tomorrow,
yeah,
it's going to actually feel like summertime weather.
It will, and by Father's Day, we're going to be knocking on the door of near 90. How about that? Right now, not bad out there. A lot of clouds, not a lot of rain with First Alert Super Doppler Max. As we look at a live picture back downtown and taking a look there from our aquarium sky cam, 70 degrees is where we are. If you've got plans over the next few hours, we'll stay in the low 70s at 7 o'clock, 71 at 9 o'clock, some upper 60s at 11 o'clock. Cloudy tonight, not quite as cool as the last couple of nights, but we'll talk more about that. And wait until you see the warm-up on the way. That's the next big weather thing. We're talking about knocking on the door of some 90s, so stick around for that. What about that drive home right now? We are taking a look at First Alert traffic. Traffic is looking very, very nice on the Don Holt Bridge. It's moving, and on the Ravenel. More traffic in our next half hour. Stick around. More here on Live 5 News at 5 next.
Two lawmakers from South Carolina are behind the new Justice Act introduced today. It focuses on long-term solutions for police reform and transparency, as well as accountability for officers all across the country. Lisa Wiseman got a look at that federal bill, and she joins us now with more. Lisa?
Well, Ann, our own Senator Tim Scott helped to spearhead the bill that many will hope will change the face of law enforcement here in America. Senator Scott, a North Charleston native and graduated from Charleston Southern. Now, here are some of the things that the bill hopes to do. Reform hiring practices so that the makeup of the police more closely matches the communities in which they serve. Mandate that the FBI is told whenever an officer uses force or fires their gun. Also, allow a department to access an officer's prior disciplinary record before hiring them at their department. Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina is a co-sponsor of that bill. Democrats have released their own proposal on police reform earlier this month, and we're going to hear from Senator Scott himself coming up tonight on Live 5 News at 6. In the newsroom, Lisa Wiseman, Live 5 News.
In a Live 5 News exclusive, for the first time, we're hearing from the 911 operators who worked the night of those riots on Upper King Street downtown. Police reporter Harv Jacobs spoke to two 911 call takers about the pressure they faced that night. Harv joins us live from Upper King Street now with more. Harv, what a night of chaos that was.
Bill, a crazy night. That's what they told me happened. Oku restaurant behind me, one of the businesses that was vandalized the night of the riot. The 911 operators had their hands full on May 30th, taking call after call after call from angry and terrified people who were caught in the middle of the riot. The operators are trained to stay calm, and they did so that night. Most of the complaints were about a lack of police officers while the rioting and looting were going on here on Upper King Street. The 911 operators heard a lot of cursing from angry folks. They did not take that cursing personally. Call taker Sarah Schmink says the focus was on making sure they kept the people on the phone lines safe.
Every 911 call we ever get is somebody experiencing the worst day of their lives every single time we pick up that phone. That night maybe more so than any night we've had.
A night she will never forget. Sarah Schmenk told me she actually worked a day shift on the 30th. She says when she got off work, a page was sent out asking anybody who could come back in to work to help during the riot. She did come back in to help out. Again, a night she and the other 911 operators will never forget. Live on Upper King Street, Harv Jacobs, Live 5 News.
All right, Harv, thank you. Video circulating online right now from that weekend has some civil rights groups upset. What they want to change at the Charleston Police Department, that's coming up in our next half hour right here on Live 5 News at 5:30.
Now, your first alert forecast from Live 5 News.
Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh as we make our way through the middle of the week. And if you stand on your tippy toes, you can see the weekend, and it's Father's Day weekend coming up, and it's going to start to warm up. Remember that low that brought us the cool weather, the upper low, the spinning around like a top? Guess what? It's still spinning around like a top, but it's kind of inched up more toward North Carolina, the Virginia border. You can still see it just spinning. The dark colors there in our water vapor channel right here shows the dry air. Even though we've got some low cloudiness, we still have some mid-level dry air, and that's not creating any rain for us. All that's now well up to the north. So first alert, Super Doppler Max, the low country's most powerful live radar, shows all that rain well to the north now. We are on the drier side, so we'll have some clouds. We've had a little light drizzle last night. Wouldn't rule that out. But for the most part, it's going to be a quiet evening if you are stepping outside. You take a look right there along the coast, back inland, and a lot of clouds as we look from the South Carolina Aquarium back open. And my daughter was over there the other day, and they said a lot of folks coming into the aquarium wearing masks and being safe, and it's just a great place to see. And you can see the new turtle exhibit up there. The Turtle Hospital, I think, now is open. All right, look at this. This is the Ro-Ro. That is a roll-on, roll-off for all the BMWs, the Volvos, and all the cars that are exported, go on these great big ships here from the Columbus Street Terminal, with the temperature now sitting on a comfortable 69 degrees. I didn't get the high just yet, but remember, normally, I've been saying this all week, we should be 88 for this time of the year. So we've been very, very cool. A little taste of fall with 70% humidity out there as we speak. Around the low country, 72 Mount Pleasant and Sullivan's Island at 70. Still 69 down along the beaches, upper 60s to near 70 at Kiowa out toward James and Johns Island. Walter you're at 70 Somerville, and it's about 70 over in Goose Creek as well. Back up toward the lakes, Pinopolis, back up toward, say, the Cross area right now. It's kind of cloudy to partly cloudy out in Cross. 70 up in Orangeburg, 70 Kingstree, 73 down to, say, Georgetown and McClellanville. So bottom line, it's very, very cool all around the low country. So if you are stepping out this evening, hour by hour, be around 70, 71 at 7, 8, 9 o'clock. And by 10 o'clock, probably see some upper 60s. And again, we didn't put much rain activity in there. Some clouds, but that's going to be about it. As far as the weather map itself, that low, the coastal low, continues to spin around right here as well. So mainly dry, just some clouds. That's going to lift north into tomorrow. So we'll still see a chance of a shower thunderstorm. More of a typical afternoon variety once we get a sea breeze going, some heating of the day. And again, you see some sunshine in between. So as we look at Future Tracker to give you that first alert, when to expect what, as we go between now and 11 o'clock, there's our magic clock. I'll tap it. We'll take you to 11 o'clock tonight. Look at that, just some clouds. And say by tomorrow morning, we'll tap the clock again when you wake up tomorrow morning. Variable clouds. Definitely check in with Joey early. I have an update on that on your Thursday commute. And then look at this, by lunchtime, can't rule out a pop-up shower. Just because the heating of the day, we'll have plenty of moisture right through the afternoon. So bottom line, as we take a look at your next 24 hours, we keep our eye on it for you. We're talking about a mostly cloudy night. Again, that very slight chance, maybe a little drizzle along the coast. Otherwise, for tomorrow, partly cloudy, warmer, 30% chance. And look at this, into tomorrow night. Still some clouds still, though, on the mostly comfortable side. Waters are going to be, if you're going out the waterways, are going to be pretty nice out there. South winds at about 10 to 15. Boating and fishing looks okay. Might see a pop-up shower. High tide's going to be at 6:34 in the morning. All right, who's ready for Father's Day weekend? I can see a lot of hands, right? Yeah, even Ann's hands up. That's interesting. But anyway, bottom line is, as you take a look at the 7-day forecast, you better take care of that guy. Looking at 87 on Thursday. 30% chance. Friday, a 40% chance. And look at these warm temperatures come back. You know what happened Saturday? The Saturday is, yes, the summer solstice. We actually move into summer, 5:44 Saturday evening. Near 90 Saturday, 92 Sunday. Father's Day is going to be hot. Even on into next week, summer comes back with a vengeance. It definitely will be above normal. Whew, and more humid. All right, let's talk about traffic, shall we? Traffic trackers, go on outside and take a peek right there as we take a look at some of these wrecks that we were kind of tracking earlier today, at least in the last hour. This one's still out there. This is not far from Goose Creek as you make your way up toward the weapons station. This is on Willowwood there over by, looks like Cameron, and then back over here toward Rivers Avenue, a little accident there. The merge lanes itself, not bad, a little bit slow going. Westbound on 526. Looks really good. Westbound on 26 looks good, as well as the westbound and eastbound side toward the Ravenel Bridge and all the way back here toward the Westmoreland Bridge. Coming out of the city, looks pretty good there as well. More traffic coming up in our next half hour.
Tomorrow marks 13 years since these 9 Charleston firefighters lost their lives battling a fire at a furniture store. This year, the Charleston Fire Department will remember its fallen members a bit differently. There will be a ceremony at the Memorial Park on Savannah Highway, but it will be closed to the public. The fire department will live stream the event on their Facebook page beginning at 7 tomorrow night. The department is also working with family members to arrange private times for them to visit the memorial.
And you can honor the Charleston 9 tomorrow by giving the gift of life. The American Red Cross is hosting that blood drive, and it's happening at the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church in Goose Creek. It runs from noon until 6 p.m. if you'd like to give. North Charleston's mayor says he is quarantining after the spouse of an office worker tested positive for the coronavirus. Keith Summey made that announcement on the city's Facebook page. Summey says he is waiting on his COVID-19 test results and is working from home in the meantime.
There are now more than 20,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus here in South Carolina. Today, state health officials announced 577 new confirmed cases of the virus and 10 new deaths. That brings the total number of cases to 20,551 and the total number of deaths in our state to 617.